The Outer Worlds on the Nintendo Switch is finally here, and oh my god, what did they do to you? Hello everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Pixel Report, a show in which I just kind of talk about gaming news, leaks, and things like that. This is going to be a semi-unscripted show for the most part, and I am really new at this. I have trouble barely even completing a sentence without a script behind it, so please bear with me on that. Thank you for watching, and please enjoy. The Outer Worlds is a sci-fi adventure RPG game created by Obsidian Entertainment. In this game, you travel throughout the solar system and solve other people's problems as you amass your own crew for your ship, the Unreliable. Quests have multiple branches and ways of being resolved, and you're given an impressive amount of freedom to solve problems in your own way. I recently wanted to replay The Outer Worlds because I haven't really touched it since it was first released. I had it initially on Xbox Game Pass for PC because it was like $15, but I've since let it expire and I no longer have access to the game. And when I wanted to repurchase it for myself again, I had to choose between the PC version and the Nintendo Switch version because I thought that this kind of RPG would be fantastic with the portability of the Switch. And boy am I glad I went with the PC version of this game because The Outer Worlds on Switch is a horrific port that has some serious balls charging $60 for it. Now for the footage on this video, I'm going to be using some of Digital Foundry's fantastic video to showcase the differences, and you can see for yourself how much of a downgrade the Switch port is. It's honestly a miracle that the game even runs at all, and it really shows how limited the Switch is when it comes to hardware. Now to be completely fair, The Outer Worlds isn't the best looking game out there, but it does have some great polish to its art style, and there is some incredible detail and charm in the world. It's almost completely gone in the Switch port though. In my opinion, you just can't have The Outer Worlds without its art style. The two go hand in hand to deliver this really fun sci-fi adventure. In some areas there's some missing foliage and trees, the textures are incredibly muddy and low resolution, the beautiful skyboxes are absent, and the volumetric clouds are gone. The character models are hugely downgraded, and to top it off, the game can barely maintain 30 frames per second. When you're in a city or you are in combat, the frame drops are really frequent. It also doesn't help that shooting with the Joy-Cons is an absolute nightmare. Apparently the shooting in Outer Worlds was clunky at best for console players, so this doesn't really help its case. It's safe to say that this port definitely makes the Switch look real bad, and it gives people who've never heard of The Outer Worlds a really poor first impression of what the game really is. The question that everyone's mind is, what went wrong with this port? Well, to me it's simple. The Outer Worlds just can't run on the Nintendo Switch's hardware. If you think about it, up to this point there hasn't really been any true next generation games that have been ported to the Switch. The closest next gen game released on the console would probably be Doom, and I would say that The Outer Worlds is a slightly better looking and bigger game than Doom. So when the Switch was put up to the test against what modern games are capable, we got a horrendous port that strips away all of The Outer Worlds' visual charm. I seriously wonder now how the Doom Eternal port will do on the Switch, as hopes aren't really high for me on that one. The Nintendo Switch is a brilliant concept, honestly. The thought of taking AAA gaming on the go is seriously a good one, and Nintendo has delivered a pretty solid console on their first try. However, it's really apparent nowadays that the Switch is struggling to keep up with modern games being released, and who even knows what the future of the console is at this point. Honestly, I'd steer clear from any modern AAA games being ported over to this console. The Outer Worlds is proof that not every game needs to have a Switch port. Okay, so this next portion of the video will be mostly rumors and leaks that have been floating around regarding all of the press conferences that have been delayed due to the current circumstances of the world. So we'll start with the first one that I've been hearing about a Bloodborne PC port coming in the near future. This one, to me, is the most unreliable one out of the ones I'm about to list because the source is not that great. It's just a Twitter account, but there's been videos out there of Bloodborne going past the native 30 FPS that it normally goes to, and people are assuming that that's either a remastered port of the game coming soon or a version of it coming to PC or something like that in the near future. Don't get me wrong, I'd definitely love to see it. I didn't finish Bloodborne. It's one of the only Souls games I didn't finish because, or it's only one of the From Software games I didn't finish because, in my experience, just playing it on a console, not on 60 FPS, was enough to kind of deter me away from it. I know that sounds really elitist, but that's just kind of honestly my opinion on it. I did really enjoy it, and I do look forward to it if it comes to PC, to playing it again and beating it this time, because just the setting, the world, the gameplay, everything about it was just so enticing. I just had a lot of trouble playing it like on the couch and not on my chair where I normally sit and all that. There was a lot of factors as to why I didn't finish it, but if it came to PC, I would definitely replay it again. Some things that are floating around about the Bloodborne PC port is that it's going to come on PlayStation 5 and PC, and that From Software once again is not doing the port. It would be an external company, and that's fairly common. Every single PC port has not been from Software themselves. I know Dark Souls infamously was not ported by a company with a good reputation, and that's why we got that awful PC port for Dark Souls. But From Software have kind of learned their lesson, and the future PC ports for like Sekiro, Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3 have all been great. So I wouldn't be surprised that Bloodborne on PC would also run well as well. Another leak and rumor floating around is Dead Island 2. I recently featured it in my video about games that were announced and then not really heard from again. We're hearing more things about it. There was some leaked screenshots posted by a Twitter account by I think it was Garnet Sunset posted these screenshots, and from what you can see is just simple things like a first-person view with a gun, a player character in a car, and then this screenshot of the NPC with big bright blue and T-posed. It's pretty great to see the behind the scenes of how a game is made. But yeah, some more screenshots of the game. Supposedly there's more coming. This is one of those games that was supposed to appear supposedly at the Sony event. We don't know, because now that this event has been postponed, a lot of speculation is coming about as to what was going to be shown there, and people are going crazy with it, like, oh, God of War 2, Dead Island 2, Bloodborne PC, Uncharted 5, and Last of Us 2, like, all of these crazy rumors. It's really hard to verify which one is true. I'm just going by the ones that sound the most interesting to me. Keep in mind, I don't think any of these are true. I just feel like I should report on them because it's something to talk about. These screenshots, however, for Dead Island 2 are from a build back in 2015. So this is about 5 years old. Everyone knows by this point that Dead Island 2 has had a long history of development woes and trouble. It looks like there will be something coming out about the game in the near future. Time will tell what it actually will be. I doubt they'll show us footage that's 5 years old, but you never know. It might just be something to confirm to fans that the game is still alive. But yeah, this is another one of those things that I doubt we'll hear any more information about this anytime soon. Just these screenshots being leaked, however, kind of started the whole discussion again as to when we're going to hear about it. You know, supposedly we're going to hear about it at the PlayStation 5 event, but I highly doubt it, because Dead Island 2 just doesn't really seem like it's a next-gen game unless they've completely scrapped the entire version that we're seeing in these screenshots and they're going to show us something completely new. I don't know, but what I do know is that we should be expecting to hear something from Dead Island 2 within the next couple months. Another port coming to PC is that God of War, 2018's God of War, is coming to PC. The two games that I listed, Bloodborne and God of War, the reason why they don't seem that unlikely to me is because Sony is already kind of starting that process. We saw it with Horizon Zero Dawn coming to Steam, and I think it was also Death Stranding. And they've announced the Sony Studios or PlayStation Studios to bring games to the PC and finally tap that market, because, you know, PlayStation 4 having these exclusives is nice, but I'm sure they want to expand their player base by bringing games to PC. So these two games coming over to computers does not seem unlikely. Obviously, nothing has been confirmed yet, and that's what people were thinking are going to be shown at the PlayStation 5 event, but I would imagine that one would only be for PlayStation 5 and showing off the exclusives that are coming. But once again, that's another rumor floating around, is that the God of War from 2018 is coming to PC, which would be incredibly exciting to see that game, run at 60 FPS and experience it at higher resolutions, 4K, things like that. And honestly, at this point, it's kind of a no-brainer as to why they didn't do it earlier. I know that the console wars are all about getting exclusives, but I mean, honestly, how much can a game company really care about exclusives when they can make more money bringing it over to different platforms? If the rumor was God of War is coming to Xbox One, yeah, I can see that totally being bogus, because why would they do that? But I see PC as kind of a neutral party in between the two. PC doesn't really have these like super attention grabbing exclusives. It's mostly just kind of strategy games and games that wouldn't really be able to run on a controller. So I see them as kind of the untapped third party in all of this. I don't know why Nintendo's not doing it. I'm finally glad that Sony's hopping onto it. Xbox has been doing it for years now, and it's just a great way to make extra cash and expose people to these fantastic exclusives that Sony is putting out. Horizon Zero Dawn is a great game, and I'm glad that people are finally getting to experience it on PC. So hopefully that means that more of these games are coming soon. Keep in mind, these are all rumors. Everything I just reported are all just rumors and leaks. Nothing is confirmed quite yet. Like I said, because the PlayStation 5 event has been postponed, it leaves a lot of room for speculation and rumors and just people making shit up. So just keep all of that in mind. Keep all of these leaks with a grain of salt. I would be happy to see all three of these things get more information at any time, not just at the PlayStation 5 event, but again, this is just fun to kind of talk about, because these are all things I want to happen and I want to see happen. So hopefully they do. But that's going to be it for this part. That's going to be it for this Pixel report. If you like what you saw and you want to stick around, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I don't normally do unscripted kind of free-flowing conversation pieces like this, so I apologize for all the ums and ahs. But yeah, this is my first attempt at it, and it's something I want to keep doing. So if you have any kind of feedback for me, please let me know in the comment section. And thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.